Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prasadeshwar Krsna. Welcome all for the Nityam Bhagavata Seva session. Today we will hear from Canto 5, Chapter 26, verses 18 to 19. Prasadeshwar Krsna Prabhu, over to you.
Thank you, prji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, welcome all devotees for Nityam Bhagavad Seva. Let's start with the prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nastaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langhayate Girim Yatkripātamaham vande Shri Guru Dīnatarinam Chaitanyamīśwaram Paramanandamādhavam. Hare Krishna. So, welcome all for Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. So, today we are going to discuss about Canto 5, text 25, 26, sorry, chapter 26, text 18 and 19. 5, 26, 18, 19. So, the text is a long text. I will try to read. Yastvāiham iva asambhyabhajanti yat kinchanopat anirmita pancha yajno vasaya samsutham sa paratra krimi bhojane narakadane nipatati tatra satha sastra yojane krimi kunde krimi bhutaha swayam krimi eva bhakshayamanaha krimi bhojano yavat अप्रत्यप्रभवतो अनिर्वेशम आत्मनाम यथा यथे. Sorry, reading is a bit difficult. So anyway, we'll focus on Prabhupada's synonyms and Prabhupada's translation purport. Yeah, anyone who, too, but iha, in this life, va, or Asam vibhajya, without dividing, ashanti, ashnati, eats, yat kinchana, whatever, upanatham, obtained by Krishna's grace, anirmita, not performing, pancha yajnaha, the 5 kinds of sacrifices, Vayasa, with the cross, samshrutaha, who is described as equal, such a person, paratra, in the next life, krimi bhojane, named krimi bhojana, naraka adhame, into the most abominable of all the hells, nipatati, fall down, tatra, there, Shata Sahasra Yojane, measuring 1 lakh yojanas or 8 lakh miles. Krimi Kunde, in a lake of worms. Krimi Bhutaha, becoming one of the worms. Swayam, he himself. Krimi Bihi, by the other worms. Yeva, certainly. Bhaksha Manaha, being eaten, krimi bhojanaha, eating worms, yavat, as long as, that lake is wide, aprata aparabhuta, unshared and unoffered food, adaha, one who eats, anivesham, who has not performed atonement, atmanam, to himself, yata yate, gives pain. Translation: a person is considered no better than a crow if after receiving some food, he does not divide it among the guest, old men and children, but simply eats it himself, or if he eats it without performing the 5 kinds of sacrifices. After death, he is put into the most abominable hell known as Krimi Bhojana. In that hell is a lake of 1 lakh yojanas or 8 lakh miles wide and filled with worms. He becomes worm in that lake and feeds on the other worms there, who also feed on, unless he atones for his actions before his death. Such a sinful man remains in the hellish lake of Krimi Bhojana for as many years as there are yojanas in the width of the lake. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, 3:13, Yajna Shistashinaha Santo Muchanti Sarva Kilbishihi Mujjante Te Agama Papa Ya Panchati Ya Pachanti Atma Karanat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is first offered for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for a personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. All food is given to us by Supreme Personality Godhead. Eko bahunam yo vidati kamana. The Lord supplies everyone with the necessities of life. Therefore, we should acknowledge His mercy by performing yajna, sacrifice. This is the duty of everyone. Indeed, the sole purpose of performing yajna, according to Krishna Bhagavad Gita 3.9, yajnartha karmano anyatra lokayam karma bandhanaha tad artham karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to his material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. In that way, you will always remain unattached and free from bondage. If you do not perform yajna and distribute prasad to others, our lives are condemned. The only after performing yajna and distributing prasad to all the dependents, children, brahmanas, and old men, should one eat. However, one cooks only for himself or his family is condemned along with everyone he feeds. After death, he is put into the hell known as Krimi Bhojana. So 19th also we'll try to read, then we'll discuss. Yastva iha vai stena balad va hiranya ratnadhini brahmanasya vipaharati anyasya vanapadi purushah tam amrita rajan yam purushah asamsayer agni pinda shandasya tvachi nikushanti. Synonyms by Prabhupada. Yeah, anyone who, too, but iha, in this life, why, indeed, stena, by thievery, balat, by force, va, or hiranya, gold, ratna, gems, adini, and so on, brahmanasya, of brahmana, va, or aparahati, apaharati, steals, anyasya, of others, va, or anapadi, not in a calamity, purushaha, a person, tam, him, amutra, in the next life, rajan, O king, yama purushaha, the agents of Yamaraj, aya mayai, the maid of iron, agni pinde, the balls heated in fire, sandham shay, with the tongues, twashi, on the skin, nishkushanti, tears the pieces. Translation. My dear king, a person who is in absence of any emergency robs a brahmana or indeed anyone else of his gems or gold is put into hell known as a sadhamsha. There his skin is stoned and separated by red-hot iron balls and tongues. In this way, his entire body is cut into pieces. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum militamena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. Special thanks to His Grace Sankarshana Prabhu and His Grace Shri Balaji Prabhu for giving this opportunity to speak. So this is a wonderful verse, especially a practice devotee like me. Sometimes it's very scary also. When read, I was literally scared what I am doing. You know, what is the result of what I am doing is, shown in a mirror in front of me. So it says that a person is considered better than a crow if after receiving some food, he does not divide it amongst guests, old men, and children, but simply eats it himself, or if he eats without performing 5 kinds of sacrifices. After death, he is put into the most abominable hell known as a Krimi Bhojana. In that hell, he takes in the lake, in that hell lake, 1 lakh yojanas wide, filled with worms. He becomes a worm in that lake and feeds on the other worms there, who also feed him, unless he atones for his actions before his death. Such sinful man remains in his hellish lake of Krimi Bhojana for as many years as there are yojanas in the width of the lake. So I'm just trying to meditate what I'm doing. How long I'll remain in this Krimi Bhojana hell. Prabhupada is so merciful. Prabhupada has given this, ISKCON and the very nice process. Last few days, we are discussing about the different hells. And each one is kind of, is lesson for especially the practice devotees like me. What should I do? And it's a reminder. I know there's so many things. Prabhupada said everything is to offer to Krishna. You cannot eat anything not offered to Krishna. But am I doing it? What I'm doing? And am I distributing prasad? What I'm doing? And if I don't do, what happens here? But at the same time, let's not get scared. I mean, because Krishna Bhakti is not just fear. This is the kind of knowledge given to us, especially the strong practicing devotees, so that we can become stronger. We cannot go and tell openly in the public, no, you will go to hell. I mean, they may not even come to Krishna consciousness. There, we don't have to. But for who was practicing for some time, this is the lesson so that I understand it. What I should become stronger, what I should do. Prabhupada is so simple. Prabhupada has given us so simple process. All these problems can be solved. Just Prabhupada says, offer to Krishna first. And that prasad, eat and distribute. There are quite a lot of examples. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, devotees of Lord are released from all kinds of sins just by they eat because food is offered to Krishna, first offered to Krishna. All our sins, because majority sin comes either our food we are eating or sins we are committing. But prasad is sakshat darshan of Krishna. Prabhupada established ISKCON is only this, bullet, gulab jam, prasad. So, but at the same time, here Prabhupada quotes from 313, but one who prepares for his personal enjoyment and eats mouthful of sin only. If you don't offer to Krishna and we are eating mouthful of sin. But the more point here is that, yes, Krishna arranges food for everybody. Krishna doesn't discriminate biggest elephant or biggest animal or the smallest ant or worm. Everybody gets their food. They are not dependent on anyone else. But at the same time, for human being or devotees, Krishna has given something, how that should be used. That is the point here, Prabhupada is saying that. So that, how should be sacrificed as yajna? Prabhupada, yajnartha karmano anyatra. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work binds in one is the material world. O Kunti, son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties of his satisfaction. Whatever work we are doing for his satisfaction. Cook for Krishna. Offer to Krishna with a love. Ashnami says, he says, if you give it bhakti, he twice repeats, if you give bhakti, if you give priti, love, I'll eat. Otherwise, it is not a purifying machine. His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, one of the lecturers says, your Krishna is not a purifying machine. Whatever you want to go and keep in front of him, and he'll purify and give you. No. Ashnami, provided bhakti is there, provided preeti is there. So that's why Prabhupada quotes here, that prescribed duty for his satisfaction, and in that way remain unattached from all the bondage. So cook for Krishna, offer for Krishna, distribute for his satisfaction. Today's discussion will focus on prasad distribution and the five yajnas Prabhupada quotes in the purport also, in the translation also. So we'll try to focus on that today. So a few points. Second. Okay. So 18th chapter talks about this one, and the 19th we will discuss after some time. So there are some Prabhupada's quote or Prabhupada's in instructions. Prabhupada says that give them a nice prasadam by which they are attracted. If you give them very nice palatable prasad, immediately do it. He says that's one of the room conversation Prabhupada December 1976 says. So give them nice prasad. There are many incidents. Once, I think Australia or New Zealand, I don't remember, Prabhupada was there. One, devotee came to the temple. After some time, he was about to go. So Prabhupada told one brahmachari, give him some prasad. That devotee went inside and came back and told Prabhupada, Nivedya is going on, bhoga offering going on. Prabhupada said, open the altar and give him. And the point is that for him, distributing prasad, the devotee is more important. Devotee should not go without prasad. That doesn't mean that we should not disturb Lord when bhoga offering. But the point is making is that. So in that, give them prasad by which they are attracted. It doesn't matter. Prabhupada says, is kichori, puri, whatever it is give them prasad. And Prabhupada in another place says, when we distribute prasad, everyone is satisfied because Krishna prasad, Krishna is satisfied. In the room conversation or in Bhagavad Gita class here, 4.22, he says this. Suppose Krishna consciousness movement, what are we doing? We are giving Krishna prasad. So we want to serve poor. Everyone Krishna prasad. So everyone, we distribute prasad. We distribute little halwa. Everyone is satisfied and everyone accepting because it's Krishna prasad. So that is the point Prabhupada is making. I mean, there are so many references we can give. How Prabhupada was so stressing on distributing prasad. We all know how the Akshay Patra started. The Mayapur, one of the incidents Prabhupada saw after some festival, some kids outside, they were fighting with the dogs for some remnants. Prabhupada's tears come in and he started, literally weeping. How can this child can fight with a dog? So he immediately told all these disciples, arrange, distribute Krishna Prasad. Nobody should go 10-kilometer radius. Nobody should go hungry. If you do not have money, I will give money. Krishna will arrange. Money is not the criteria. Distribute prasad. So at any cost, nobody should go hungry. go hungry. That is the point. In another place on July 12, 1970, London, he says, distribute prasad. We feed them with the Krishna prasad. That is the difference. There was a discussion between a Buddhist monk and Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is saying what you do and what we are doing. We just give Krishna prasad. And that is the difference. He says, so you distribute this prasad a little bit. Later, you feed them, but also feed them with the Krishna consciousness. That is the difference. Along with the Krishna prasad, people understand and they will take up Krishna consciousness. That's Prabhupada's proved. Prabhupada's whole movement started with that. Even today, ISKCON is the only place where you get sumptuous plateful prasad. All other temples, one laddu or one small things. But here, Prabhupada's made that system. That's the whole. Because when we distribute prasad, their whole consciousness changes. Prasad is Saksha Darshan of Krishna. The brain tissues gets purified. In another place, Prabhupada says, I think Chaitanya Charitamrita, teachings of Lord Chaitanya says, your service begins with the tongue. The tongue is tasting Krishna prasad. Your service begins with tongue. How? By tongue you can chant Krishna's name, and tongue you can taste Krishna prasad. So that is how Krishna prasad to be distributed. Atha Krishna Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavit grahayam indriye sevan mukhe jivhado swayam eva spruha. No one can understand the transcendental nature of name, form, quality, and pastimes of Krishna through his material contaminated senses. Only when one becomes spiritually inclined and he begins to serve the Lord, beginning with the tongue, two things, chanting and tasting prasad. So, eating, because everybody has to eat. Nobody can live without eating. Eat Krishna prasad and chant along with that. So this tongue can be used for this service. That's how the whole Krishna conscious activity begins. So whole process is Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada in the purport quotes 313. Devotees eat offered the Krishna prasad offered to Krishna, and others eat only sin. So greed, keep everything for me. I cook what I want, what likes for me, and I eat. And after that, if remaining, I'll keep in the fridge. Next day again, I'll take heat, and next day again, because I don't want to distribute. I'll keep because it's for me. This is the greed. Prabhupada says, no, distribute as much as distribute. The more you distribute, you get more. The more we hoard, we'll lose. There is a Kannada proverb, Bachittaddu pararige, kottaddu tanage. That is a common sense. That's what exactly Prabhupada said. Prabhupada many times said that, do not worry for the money, prasad distribution. Money will come. And if he said many of the devotees, disciples, I will give the money, he says. So that is the conviction Prabhupada had. And that is the instruction Prabhupada gave. So the best process in Kali Yuga is to distribute prasadam. How Krishna himself, there are so many pastimes we can refer. How that Vipra Sudhama, his wife bought very little. That too not very palatable, in the material sense. But that puffed rice, Krishna eats that. That too, Sudama was not willing to give, because after eating such a nice, bhoga, what prasad, what Krishna gave to Sudama. Sudama was shy. How can I give this to, a rotten, old, puffed rice? But Krishna grabs it and takes. My sister-in-law has given something for me. And he says, this is the best, very tasty. As soon as eats one, the whole village or the Sudama's house becomes golden. Everything, every opulence comes. The second one, the whole village gets all opulences. Third, put hand, Rukmini, hold on. Prabhu, enough. If you eat next, we'll all become his dasis. This is the mood of Krishna. Whatever you give it to Krishna out of love, the reciprocation is million times. But at the same time, this sloka is saying, if I don't do it, what will be my state? Krimi bhojana. I will have to go to that hell. And it's so scary. I will be in a worm and eaten by another worm for 1 lakh yojana. And I will rot there. Similar pastime we can see in Ramayana, Shabari. Ram was waiting for Shabari to give that bail. Shabari was, each one is, she's tasting and giving. Of course, we should not taste and leave it to Lord. But the mood of Shabari is that Lord Rama was so happily eating. He did not consider it as Shabari's juta, because Shabari's love was there. So what is Krishna is looking at love. Krishna is not looking at my opulences. There are many pastimes. In Mahabharata, there is a pastime of Vidura. When Duryodhana arranged a big feast, and Krishna did not go there. Krishna went to Vidura's house. Vidurani, Vidura's wife, she was so excited, so tensed. Lord has come to my house. How can I receive him? She was running here and there. How do I receive him? What can I give? She bought, we all know this pastimes. We all know that. She gave a banana. She peeled a banana. She threw the banana and gave the peel. Krishna happily ate that. Vidura came. Vidura was shouting, hey, what are you doing? Krishna said, yeah, this is the best offering I took because it's a love. So whole pastime narrates what is that real thing Krishna wants is our love. That is offered to Krishna. And Prabhupada is saying that when we do that for his satisfaction, that is the real satisfaction. Offer to Krishna and distribute. And Prabhupada gives many examples. Here also it is given mention that the 5 great sacrifice, Pancha Mahayajna, Deva Yajna, sacrifice to the Devatas. Because of Devatas, all the facility is given, whether rain, whether the vegetations, or the minerals, water, everything comes from Devatas. Devatas provide. Of course, Krishna is the source. But we should be grateful to them. We have our rana, our debt towards them. We have to be grateful to them. That's why Prabhupada says there should be synchrony between human and the Devatas. Devatas provide, and in turn, we should provide our sacrifice. Fire sacrifice or various sacrifices for the satisfaction of those Devatas. Because Devata in turn offer to Krishna. Or we offer to Krishna, that prasad is offered to Devatas. They are happy. So in many of those Vishnu temples, even in South India, we see, right? So after the Nevedya offered to Krishna, they come out. Pujari goes to each, there's a Devata's temple or the stones. They offer prasad. Devatas take that Krishna prasad. They are waiting. There is a pastime of Narada Muni. We all know that, how Narada Muni wanted Narayana's pastime. He goes to Mother Lakshmi saying that, he does a lot of service. And Lakshmi asked, Narada, what do you want? He said, I want little Maha Prasada of Lord. So Lakshmi Mata says yes. But next day, when Lakshmi asked Lord Narayana, Narayana said, no, you cannot give. But Lakshmi says that I already promised. Then Lakshmi Mata says, okay, if I promised, give such a way that I have not seen. When I look that side, you take and give. Indirectly, she's saying give. Narada gets that. Narada Muni so happily eats. He jumps, Narayana, he runs here and there, whole 3 planets. So happy because he got Vishnu Prasad, Narayana Prasad. Kailash, Lord Shiva was watching this. What happened to Narada? Why is so happy? Narada comes, so Lord Shiva comes and asks Narada, what happened? Why are you so happy? Narada Muni says that I got Krishna Prasad, Narayana Prasad. So Lord Shiva says, definitely you would have kept something for me. Oh, Narada says, I forgot. I got little, I finished it. Again, this is a lesson for me also. When I get Krishna Prasad, I should always keep. That's why exactly Prabhupada in the sloka also saying, Prabhupada explaining, we should keep for others. And Lord Shiva trying to search in the fingernails. There is one or small grain of prasad. Lord Shiva took that. Oh, ate it. He was so ecstasy. He started to do this dance. Mother Parvati came. Mother Parvati said, "What happened, Prabhu? Why are you so happy?" So Mother Parvati asked. Lord Shiva said, "Yes, I got Krishna Prasad today, Narayana Prasad." So she says, I'm your Andhani. I'm your wife. Definitely would have kept something for me. Oh, he said, I forgot. She got angry. So she comes as Vimala Devi. And she requests Lord, hereafter, whatever prasad every of my son children should get. So that's why today, in Jagannath Puri, whatever offered to Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, goes to Vimala Devi first. Then distributed everybody. Prasad distribution happens. So in Jagannath Puri also, prasad distribution, so important given. So Bhagavad Gita 3:12, Krishna says, in charge of the various necessities of life, demigods being satisfied by the performance yajna sacrifice will supply necessities to you. But to enjoy such gifts without offering the demigods return certainly a thief. We get everything from theirs, Devi Devatas and Lord, and if we enjoy it for ourselves, we are thief. There is one pastime when His Holiness Jayapataka Guru Maharaj, Jayapatasam Guru Maharaj bought one businessman to meet Srila Prabhupada. So that businessman is waiting outside. Guru Maharaj went inside the Srila Prabhupada's room and requested Srila Prabhupada, so-and-so businessman has come. Can you meet him? Prabhupada knew that person. Prabhupada said, he's a thief. He's a big thief because he is doing it some sand, some glass business, taking all from the nature, sand, mud, making the glass and distributing and selling and making money. Then Guru Maharaj said, Prabhupada, he has given some donation. Then he's a small thief, but still is a thief. That point is that unless we offer back to Krishna, we are thief. So instead of, we should be having a little Rina or Deva Yajna should perform. Similarly, Pitra Yajna, recently finished that, Pitra, some. We should be grateful to our Pitras, forefathers. We should perform Shraddha ceremony. We should give, because those jivas in different places, different planets, maybe we don't know where are they, whether hell or heaven or different planets. But they get the prasad when I offer something as a Shraddha ceremony. That's why, we do once a year here something, but there is one day in Pitraloka. The Devatas in Pitraloka, they take that and give it to the respective jiva wherever they are. So offering, Pitr or offering Shraddha ceremony is very important. That's one of the Pitri again. That is one of the debt or duty of every children. So Pitri Yajna, Pitri Vritaha says, Pitri Yanti Pitri Vritaha. So we have to do our sacrifice to those. Bhuta Yajna, sacrifice to other living entities. There are living entities like animal, birds. So that's why in olden days, the householders, they keep prasad after, general tendency is that they, after bhoga is offered, they go out and call out, is anybody hungry here? Is anybody hungry? Anybody hungry? They wait. When everybody is come and fed, and then only eat. Then also they'll keep something for the birds, something for the ants. This is the practice. That's a Bhuta Yajna. So This is the duty of the householder to feed. Today we can see the birds are dying without forget food, even water. There are good devotees, people, they keep water in the terrace for the birds or animals. Or nowadays we see how the cows are eating from the garbage plastic. Those cows should have fed with the nice grass, but they are fed with the plastics. So this is the Bhut Yajna we are doing. That cow gives us milk, and in turn, what we're doing. This is the point here. Similarly, Rishi again, sacrifice to the sages. Because of the sages, because of the Brahmanas, because of the Vaishnavas, we are able to do our, whatever sadhana possible. And because the sages are doing the yajna, sacrifice, devatas get satisfied. So they are the root cause of our all the possible facilities. In Prabhupada, one of the lectures, Prabhupada says that the real owners of this property of this material world is Vaishnavas. Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are only caretakers. They are not the owner. Whenever the Vaishnava comes, ask, give. Prabhupada gives nice example like the bank manager. The businessman would have kept 1 lakh rupees in the bank as a deposit. If the bank manager cannot refuse when a businessman comes, when a businessman comes, he has to give. Similarly, a Vaishnava comes, Kshatriyas or the Vaishyas, they should give because they are the owner. They are the real owners of that, but they don't be attached. They are not taking anything for themselves. They can take little and offer to Krishna. Their duty is finished. So that's why Rishi Yajna is important. Tadvaga Visargo Janataha Dev Viplavo. Glorification of the Lord is real Rishi Yajna. In Kali Yuga, Kali Kali, Namarupe Krishna Avatar. Or Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. It's the only solution for the satisfaction of the yajna or satisfaction of the Supreme Lord or Devi Devatas. But we have to perform our sacrifices. And next comes Narayagya, Manushya or Atiti, Atiti Devo Bhava. Nowadays, Atiti means, very difficult. If you want to go to somebody's house, we have to call and get the appointment. Otherwise, door will not be, beware of dogs will be there. So Atithi means one who comes without titi, without appointment. Olden days, I've seen my childhood. Whoever comes to our house, my mother, the first thing she will give a glass of water, a piece of jaggery. That's the first thing. Then she will tell them, please sit. She will ask whether have we eaten, have you finished your breakfast, lunch. Otherwise, she will feed them. Generally, I have seen, childhood, she cooks so much in the morning. So that till lunch, whoever comes, everybody gets the food. That is our culture. Not only our house, villages, everybody, that's that. That is the culture. There nowhere the people will go without taking food. And nowhere they will go hungry. So that is the point here. Atiti Devo Bhava. Krishna is not different, or Krishna comes in the form of a guest, of Manusha, or Deva, Rishi Munis. So this is the 5 yajnas talking about here. With that yajna sacrifice, we can satisfy the Supreme Lord. That is quite a lot talking about Prasad. Sripad Ramanujacharya. There are so many examples how he set an example how to distribute prasadam. There's a story of past time when he was walking on the bank of Kaveri. Once his disciples cooked and offered to the Lord, and then he said that was whether offered to the Lord there or Balaji Prasadam, one of them. So Sripad Ramanujacharya threw some grains into the water. The fishes who ate, they took immediately, 400 form of Vishnu and went to Goloka. So this is the potency of prasad. Of course, we need to have that strong faith, and we need to have, yesterday, Adidev Prabhu was mentioning, we should not be committing offenses, but more than point is that, without offenses, with full faith, we can take the complete benefit of. So in this discussion, Prabhupada talks about, there is 3 points Prabhupada talks mainly for my own personal. Everything I should eat, which is offered to Krishna only. Do not eat anything which is not offered to Krishna. Of course, what we cannot offer to Krishna, that's different. So never eat outside food. That's a tendency, but I'm not practicing it. So that's the standard Prabhupada saying. And next he says, always share, always distribute. The community help, distribution share of Krishna Prasad is given so important. Whether it's neighbors or schools or orphanage or, wherever possible, because people will really remember that. Other day, I was meeting one RSS person. So first thing he said that, I asked, do you know me? He said, yes. What? I had come to the temple. ISKCON means Prasad. I never forget. Because they don't remember me, but I am representing ISKCON. ISKCON means they are so grateful. Because whenever I am hungry, I go to ISKCON. Steve Jobs, but you would have heard. He used to go walk, I think, 4 or 5 kilometers, take one full meal when he was young. So this is the potency of Krishna Prasad. So what is the result? Result is that the whole society becomes Krishna conscious. That's how the Srila Prabhupada did that. And that's how we can also make whole world Krishna conscious. That is Prabhupada saying that we have to see that nobody goes hungry within 10 miles radius. That was the inspiration for regular prasad distribution. Prabhupada says that in one of the discussion. Yeah, I think I was talking about Mayapur incident. Lilamrita is mentioned. Prabhupada writes that we have to see that nobody goes hungry within 10 miles radius. Temple is the house of God. God is everyone's father. Krishna is everyone's father. So in presence of his father, the sons doesn't go hungry. So we have to make an arrangement that people get fed. He says this statement was made upon witnessing the poor children. That's a statement is made. He says, do not worry for the money. Money I'll provide. Krishna will provide. So distributing Krishna Prasad is not the challenge, but we need to have that desire. Yes, this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted. This is what Srila Prabhupada want all of us to do it. Of course, again, coming back to Srila Prabhupada's purport here in the 18 points before we conclude. Otherwise, what happens here in the translation mentions that it's like creamy boja, naraka, I'll go, and I'll be fed in that creamy boja worms. And for 1 lakh yojanas, I'll be staying there, that hell lake with the 1 lakh yojana. That's such a big lake. How many years? As many years there are how many yojanas, width of the lake. So 1 lakh yojanas, I have to be there. And unless I do the atonement. What is atonement? Atonement is distribute Krishna Prasad, start serving Krishna Prasad. This is how we can improve our Krishna Bhakti. In the verse 19, quickly to translation talks about that. Says that, my dear king, a person whose absence of any an emergency robs Brahmana or indeed anyone else of his gems and gold, puts into his hell as Sudamsha. There his skin is torn and separated by red hot iron balls and tongs. In this way, his entire body is cut to pieces. So the first is one who don't distribute prasad, one eats for himself. Second, one robs wealth from the Brahmanas. So I was referring that the wealth belongs to Brahmanas, Vaishnava. Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, the Shudras, over that. The wealth is kept for them whenever they ask, distribute, not to rob from them. So in the result, if I do that, what happens is mentioned here. So the conclusion is that all the both verses talks about here. Do not keep anything for ourselves. Distribute. Distribute mainly, of course, don't take from the others and distribute to the people. So that is the key point. Prasad distribution. And no eating for self, offer everything to Krishna. And that's the final conclusion here. With this, I'll stop here. So devotees can add comments. I know it's beyond my realization. So whatever, then I just shared. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful, wonderful elaboration of this very sensitive and very dear topic also. Maharaj has aptly given that wonderful name also to you, Prasadeshwar Krsna Prabhu. And you have this, you amplify that compassionate nature by the whole services and programs that you do for you. Thank you so much, especially those 5 sacrifices which you elaborate, which is, I think, is very important for all of us. Prabhupada himself was a revolutionary, and his compassionate nature, and especially that aspect when you said that Prabhupada mentioned every 10 miles radius, nobody should go, unfed. And he actually, you remember, he saw that from his window that a child was eating, from the leftovers. So that is also, it is unimaginable. We can't fathom the depth of the compassion that Prabhupada had. So thank you so much for the wonderful class. I would request devotees to share if there are any questions, comments, or thoughts, please share.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Prabhu, you are the Prasad distribution personified. Thank you so much. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
Jai.
Prabhuji, it has strengthened my faith in doing the service, Prabhuji. It was so detailed and you had covered in all aspects. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. And please guide me how to improve myself in doing this service, Prabhuji. But in temple I am doing, but at home I am not able to practice the same way. But please pray for me, Prabhuji, so that I can improve.
You are doing wonderful, wonderful service, bro. Nice.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. That's what, just a small thing which I wanted to add was, yesterday we had a class in that Dukhalayam Ashashvatam, and then we tried to find happiness in small things, like in the whole sea, if suppose a small grass comes, are we, no, we take eat the grass, are we satisfied? No, like that. They're telling, and one of the things which normally, Grahastha actually they do is to think that once we get married, we will be happy, even though they see universally, whether it is America, India, or any religion, it is common. That is, they get, there is a fight, and then even though they may think that it will happen to other people, it will not happen to me. Ultimately, it happens to everybody. In that, for that, Srila Prabhupada says, if we do not, if husband and wife or the family has to be happy, they have to eat Krishna Prasad. So he says that if we take Krishna Prasad, these things will not happen. The fighting and other things will stop. And second thing, there is this one pastime when Srila Prabhupada was going along with all his disciples, that is devotees. The expertise of Western devotees, they are very fond of ice creams. So what they used to do, they used to have ice cream, and they were also a little bit afraid because Srila Prabhupada used to tell that he should be offered. So what they used to do, they used to silently steal, they used to take, and then, but once Srila Prabhupada noticed that, so he called them, and then he said, see, I don't have any problem in you eating this one ice cream. You can have ice cream, but you prepare yourself, offer it, and then take it. That's what it is. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. As Shibalaji Prabhu said, Prabhupada is really revolutionary. How he has transformed the whole world. And this, of course, is now, of course, proper disciples also doing it. Now it's our responsibility also take it further. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam. Very nice lecture.
So,
Yeah. I mean, you are telling about sharing the food. It reminds me of Rantideva. How humble he was. Even the last bit of water also he gives away, not keeping anything for himself. I mean, I don't think I can be that great, but at least as you said, your mother used to cook food. So similarly, we always cook little extra and keep till the end of the day. And then just next day, I just feed that to the birds. That's what I do. That's what I do, Professor. Small things I do. But as you said, when we go out, it's difficult. And for a day, we can carry, but the later on, if there's no prasadam, we'll have to eat, which is no onion and no garlic. At least that we stick out to that principle. I don't know. But, I just pray to Prabhupada, say, please excuse me. That's the only thing I just do, Prabhu. So very nice lecture and so much of inputs we got. Thank you very much for the wonderful job. That was Pranam.
Yeah, I mean, we travel also. There are devotees nowadays. They have so many, prasad distribution, either train or railway station and different places. If you do little research or homework, there is a possibilities. There are devotees are doing it. Of course, we pay it, but we get prasad. I mean, many places. Of course, Western country, I don't know. India, many places we get. Now, ISKCON devotees are made such plans. We can do that. A lot of network is there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. The thing 10 miles circumference of the temple, people should not go hungry. That point always rings in my mind. Very
said that.
authentic. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sometimes if we outside without onion and garlic, by offering in the mind to Krishna, is it okay, Prabhu? The sins will wash off or how?
Yeah. The point is that we should always go for prasad. Yes. And the 19th verse, unless an emergency, we should not. But our always priority should be that. I mean, so many times I'm talking to myself. I go to restaurant, Jain restaurant, but it doesn't mean that I don't have other options. I go for sense gratification. That is what is not good. Yes, the point you are traveling, you are in such a places, not there. Yes, that's emergency is accepted. But otherwise, I should make all endeavor, all effort. I should get Krishna Prasad. Then Lord arranges also. So, since I don't know whether since will wash up just saying Vishnu, Vishnu. There are people are saying Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, they say. But I don't know. But point to that we should make all the effort, all the endeavor that yes, I should get Krishna Prasad. Otherwise, we should know how to fast also. Then Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. One more clarification. Sometimes we hear the Satvik restaurants are there, Prabhu, where I see here on Outer Ring Road, JP Nagar, 6th phase. There is a photo of Srila Prabhupada, and that whole restaurant, I think they're devotees of Lord Krishna. We can have prasadam there.
Yeah, they offer to Krishna, then yes, why not? Offered, cooked by devotees, offered to Krishna by devotees. That is the point. So we don't know. But
otherwise, we can utter Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu and take it once
better than others. Yeah.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Also, it is said that we should carry some dry tulsi in case we keep it, and then when we add it, and then also have it.
Yeah. These are all kind of secondary. The primary is cooked by devotees, offered to by devotees, and that's primary. These are all emergencies, ifs and buts. Sometimes we take it that granted. Good sattva. Sorry, don't misunderstand me, but it's a fact.
But what about some small eatables like the biscuits and things like Prabhu? Sometimes we do have them. Like, can we offer it to Krishna and then do it?
Maybe
as you said,
avoid cooked food, dry fruits, milk, yogurt, maybe yes, cooked food we should avoid. Because the consciousness of the cook comes in that. The biscuits are made in a factory. what kind of circumstances the laborers are working, that consciousness naturally comes there. The owner is what consciousness, laborers are not conscious. What ingredients they're using it, we don't know. What circumstances, we don't know. So that's why a bit careful on that. Maybe Sri Balaji Prabhu can add.
I think you made a point, Prabhuji. It's more of the intention. Now, if you're hungry and you say, no, and our body is not able to survive, manage that, it doesn't make sense that, you go hunger and, finally something else happens to you. It's more of the intention is, for example, yatra. We plan accordingly. I think that's as you already rightly said, Prabhuji, we have to put all the efforts. The efforts goes into planning also. You plan your travel properly, well in advance. So if that intention is there, I think Krishna arranges. Yeah, I mean, emergencies, we are not at that stage, we can survive everything. Our bodies are not made for that. Yeah, I think intention and planning probably helps. You answered the question.
Today, Prabhupada's mercy, the ISKCON centers are there everywhere.
Everywhere.
So,
even Pakistan, you will be no hungry. Pakistan should get prashad.
And devotees are so generous distributing
Yes.
prasadam.
Yes,
So
yes.
nobody will say no to that.
Yes, certainly. Okay, if there are no further questions, probably we can end the class and meet tomorrow at the same time. We end by Vaishnav Stoppage. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय. Vaishnav Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again. Thank you all, devotees. Have a great Krishna conscious day, and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Hare Krishna.
Okay.